Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for Wednesday, March 28th, 2018. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. We had quite a tumble in the previous session in the ES where prices basically attempted to hold above the recent highs here of the previous session. Got above 26.69 quarter and then really wasn't able to hold that area for long. Instead, a failed new high started to develop, prices started to drop down, and then things really escalated as we headed into the afternoon and into the close. That was a very significant rejection, something we talked about could happen if this price level right here was not defended. We mentioned below 26.47 opens up these lows and could lead this thing back toward the bottom end of the range. We knew that bears were going to be coming in here, and it was up to bulls to try and come in and defend for a shot higher, and that was not the case. Instead, the stops came out, major continuation. Right now we have a very narrow day so far developing, 24.75 points. It is only 51% of average 10-day range, which is 48 points right now. So it's a very quiet day so far heading into RTH. And again, if we push higher here and start to see rejection early in the morning, that could lead to some downside selling pressure. And if we take out 3-day lows here, clear air to down to 25.29. So that's a significant move that could occur in one day again. These days when they pick up steam really get going. So again, if we start to take out these lows, it could be a significant continuation down to the bottom of the key range. Now again, as I've mentioned before, down here below this key range low, this offers a great opportunity to trap as a bull and look to return prices back to 27.03 and maybe even all the way up to 28.78.5. So if prices were to drop down here, it could set up an opportunity over the next several days that leads to a trap back toward the middle of this key range. So again, just giving you some foresight here as we head into the holiday extended weekend here in the US. Friday is Good Friday. No trading on Friday. We'll be back Monday. So we only have a couple more days here in the week. So if we take a look here at the ES, the NQ rather, you can see it's very similar to the ES. We had a rejection off the highs here. Price started to drop down. We talked about this 66.53 to 46 zone needed to be held. It failed to hold, and then we dropped a little bit lower. You can see here another narrow day, 58% of ADR, 97 points only. It's been averaging about 166 points per day on a 10-day basis, 228 points per day on a 5-day basis. So the volatility has increased significantly here again, and if prices can't hold 6,500, we could be looking at a dip back toward recent lows down here. And again, 62.38, that's the FOMC key level here. We have a key range there, key range low, and the LVM below. So again, very similar to what I mentioned with the ES. If this one were to drop down to the bottom of that key range and into the LVN here, which is below 6,200, between 61 and 6,200, that's what happened this time, and we got to move back here and back to the top. So this is very similar again. If we take out 6,500, we could be looking at a drop to this key range low, followed by through it, and between 61 and 62 could be a trap opportunity that leads you back to 66.53 like here, and perhaps a shot to go all the way across the top of the range to 70.47 like we saw here. So again, this is all a continuation from what we talked about 2 Fridays ago. So not last Friday, but the Friday before. I mentioned if price breaks below 7K, there could be a move to 66.53 and even a shot to see a move across the range. We're now seeing that after yesterday's failure. So significant pressure here could be seen, additional selling pressure below 6,500. Taking a look at crude oil, you can see crude oil also reached the top of its range after a great squeeze here, very tightly coiled price action here. On this day you had the breakout. This is your retest entry, and then you had your continuation here. A little bit of a shakeout right here, but overall it held the 64.24, held market structure and continued higher until reaching 66.29, which was our swing target. Once we reached that zone, we talked about profit taking and perhaps some selling of initial positions there to initiate positions. Here yesterday we had a rejection and a close below the previous low, and then you see today here, today's high is basically the low from 2 days ago, trying to become resistance. So you can kind of see how this thing is starting to turn down toward the 62.18. We do have a very strong 8 period here, which is becoming support, as is 64.38 from above. So you can definitely see short-term support is right here. These bulls are looking to return prices to 66. Any bounce could be seen as a selling opportunity for a push back towards 62.18. So right now, kind of seeing the upper end of the range have some development that could lead to a move back down. But right now, short-term bulls are going to try and push it back up, which could provide a better opportunity for medium-term bears. All right, taking a look now at gold futures. This one has been at the top of the range here for a while, the last couple of days here, and you can see that a great squeeze occurred. Really nice squeeze off the bottom end of this range. I kept talking about the rounded behavior here, but I mentioned I wasn't ready to get short. Just didn't look like it was ready to go. It had a 3-day range that was very narrow, and then on the 4th day here, a major squeeze. The stops came out, bears got trapped, and then that squeeze forced a move precisely to that 1362.40, which is the top end of the key range there. And after hitting that, we saw a quick rejection occur. So yesterday in the pre-market report and throughout the trading room, I mentioned that this could be day 1 rejection, and if it's day 1 rejection, that could lead to a quick return back to 1338 and to 1330, followed by the potential to see a move all the way to 1305 to 1310. So we're starting to see that play out already. Very nice move. Lower highs day over day, lower lows day over day. That tells you we're right in the sequence, and we could see more downside pressure. Any pullback could be a selling opportunity for a continuation down. So taking a look here at the XBT, which is Bitcoin, you can see here prices failing to hold above that 9K level, pulling back, failing here, then dropping. Not really seeing any selling pressure below 7,500 or so. It's kind of held that zone so far. Really haven't seen any kind of trading below 7,500 into the recent low of 58.80. So that's kind of clear air right there. Over here, this is the ledge of support. It's also the bottom of the composite VAL, value area low. And that suggests that bulls are still trying to defend that area for a shot at pushing this thing higher. So here's this low. Keep an eye on that low. If there's any rejection of that price, you could see the stops get run above that high here. Otherwise, again, failure to hold above 9K continues the downtrend. So right now you can definitely see that bulls are trying to keep support bid off of 7,500 for a shot at returning this thing back toward 10K. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this thing plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll talk to you soon.